Hello, hello. I've got an immersion, a boot camp, cold approach coaching, dating advice, coaching in Japan coming up. I plan on having that in 2026. We haven't decided the exact dates. I have identified what I believe is the best city in Japan to go to, and I'll be running an immersion there. Now, before we get into it, if you go to fill out the form, if you are broke or you are trying to ask for a discount, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to negotiate on my prices. I'm not going to give discounts. And if you can't afford it, then don't fill in the form. You're just wasting your own time, because I'm not going to negotiate on these prices. I do not do this to fund myself. This is not my living. I don't make my living out of coaching. I do it because I actually live this life, unlike 99.9% of the coaches out there that are either married, they've got some kids, or they're sitting in their mum's basements in London or Miami talking about game online while dating a girl that's in her 40s. I actually live this life. For the last year and a half, I left Sydney, Australia, and I've been traveling all over Asia just gaming, basically just gaming. So I'm approaching, I'm using the apps over here, I'm identifying cities that I think are the best places for dating. That's where I'm going. And I'm traveling all over Asia doing that. And so what you'll be getting by signing up to doing an immersion for a full month in Japan with myself is you'll have access to a wealth of knowledge, more knowledge than any other coach in the space. Most of them are frauds. Just as an example, there's another guy who's traveling Asia, and he's got a yeah. Anyway, I won't give too much information away, but most of these guys are frauds. They pay. So I've never paid for a girl in my life. She's lucky to get dinner or a 7-Eleven coffee out of me. She has to genuinely be into me for me to go with her and have her around. And so what you'll be doing is you'll be learning real game, the real deal, from someone who really lives it, not some fraud from the United States that pays for girls, okay? Now, I've identified what I think is the best spot in Japan to go to right now. I've identified the right city. From most parts of the world, you can get a direct flight to this city, so it's quite easy. With an Australian passport, I get 3 months in Japan, and so I would like to spend the entire 3 months just gaming. Now, the hotels are tiny. That's the only downside. We're not going to have beautiful pools like this one here and a beautiful gym like what I've got upstairs. But what we'll do, instead of having access to this, is every day we'll be out on the street gaming. Well, you'll get your steps in. Let's just put it that way. You'll get your steps in to replace the gym and the pool, and as a byproduct of that, your cold approach will skyrocket. I'll also mic you up. You will learn cold approach. You'll be out there getting a lot of practice. And on top of that, Japanese girls. Man, Japanese girls are awesome. Now, I'm not so sure about like marrying a Japanese girl. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but just for dating and just for like fun. And it's not just me saying that, it's the Japanese girls see foreigners as just fun as well. So just keep that in mind as well. So it's not just me being a misogynist here. I think, it will be mutually beneficial. Let's just put it that way. And so if you wanted to sign up and do some coaching yourself, you want to come down, you're interested in Japanese girls, or even if you're not, you see, I think you'll learn a lot just from learning cold approach in an environment like Japan. Now, again, don't fill out the form if you're a broke loser. Guys filling out the forms that want to negotiate on price. I had some loser recently reach out to me and he's like, oh, can we do it in Pattaya, Thailand or something? Isn't that where all the prostitutes are? Isn't that where all the hookers are? So you got this loser, going from the United States to Thailand, who is clearly paying for sex or something. He wants me to waste my time doing an immersion there with that type of a guy. Look, fill out the form if you're genuinely interested in finding girls with a low body count on the street that they have a real job, you're not paying for them, that are half your age if you're a little bit older. You want to learn the sweet art of cold approach from an actual expert out here that is actually living this life. The coaching doesn't fund this. I fund this. This is my own money while I travel around Asia living this life. So you're not talking to one of these frauds. I know it's the top of my mind at the moment because just so many frauds have been released recently, and we're starting to see them all come back. And it's a bit of a joke. And there's a bit of a cabal of these frauds that are all getting together. So, anyway, only fill out the form if you want to learn proper cold approach and you want a skill set that you can take anywhere. You can take this skill set back to the United States, Australia, England, because it's the most advanced cold approach method there is. The other guys might criticize it. They don't know what they're talking about. They're on their couch, putting out videos from daddy's apartment, or they're in Asia. They're in the Philippines, pumped out some kid to some girl that they clearly paid for. We're surrounded by frauds out here that don't actually live this life. Okay, so my goal will be, the coaching will be for a month. Okay, that will be as intensive as it gets, and then either side of that month, if you wanted to hang around, you can just come and game with me. So I'd like to put in a good 3 months. It's a waste of my time to go to Japan just for like 1 month and then leave. I'd rather go and utilize the full 3 months. I would like to do some game myself, do the coaching in between, and if you've got the time, you get to hang out. You get to cold approach an unbelievable amount of Japanese girls. And this skill is transferable. This is transferable. Yes, it is transferable to the West. In fact, what happens is a lot of the students that I'll be teaching this to, I'll be teaching the exact same strategy that I would use back in Sydney. Guys use the strategies and the methods that I would teach them in Sydney, and then they'll travel anywhere in the world, and it is directly transferable. And so there's not a lot that's going to change. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a language barrier. The girls are going to be a lot more compliant and cute, and it's going to be a lot more fun, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So fill out the form if you're interested in doing that. Don't fill out the form if you are a broke loser in your mum's basement and you want to negotiate on price. Don't waste your time and mine. I'm not negotiating on price, not at all. I'll just go there by myself. So anyway, that's pretty much it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.